Wow, that's so crazy. Welcome, replay viewers and everyone popping on. I just noticed that I have the camera face right on Wayne Dwyer's book. Maybe he's here with us today. Wouldn't that be cool? All right, I'm going to go ahead and flip this around. Howdy. Just the camera. Okay, so it's another crazy hot day in California. See if I can get a little more light on this. So I've got the house on shutdown for myself and the animals. It's going to be 100 degrees, which is almost unheard of in Petaluma. So welcome everyone who's joining in. Let's see if we can get a little more light. Once again, I'm the Bad Girl Mystic, and welcome to my daily vlog about building a dream and how to how to create like a lot of silly stuff. Oh, it's hotter in Texas. I believe that. I 100%. I've lived in deserts. I understand. I feel you. So today, just to give you a little quick thing of the map, I'm someone who had a traumatic brain injury 3 years ago, so I need to work in steps, and this is how a vlog works for me. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you today's map of what we're going to talk about. I'm going to talk for 15 minutes. I have a timer because I can be long-winded. And then after that, I'll be available. We'll have some chats. Just FYI, I know that I'm the Bad Girl Mystic, but I don't tolerate any stupid shit. If you guys want, some girls are going to show you their goodies, go check it out somewhere else. This is about sharing information, specifically sharing information that is important for women to know, because women's bodies work differently. Our brains work differently. Our brains are actually set up different than a guy. Science has now proved what we all have always known. All right, so today's map topic is we're going to talk about rebounding after rejection. So if you're creative like myself, been through a heartache, I've had I've had my heart broken a few times. It's hard to bounce back, right? That rejection, it just can really strangle you and strangle your creativity and strangle your heart. So before we get started, we're having people come in. I'm going to share with you the angel cards I pulled right before this. Pulled transformation and spontaneity. So there's the transformation. There's, whoops, nope, bring it back. Spontaneity. Still learning how to use a camera. And I was setting up the camera and I found this book that was given to me a long time ago when I was doing like Shakespeare in the Park kind of stuff. And it's called Follow Your Dream. And the quote's from one of our presidents in the US, Woodrow Wilson. And it says, "You should nurse your dreams and protect them through bad times and tough times, to the sunshine and light which always comes." So, I used to sometimes read shit like that and I'd be like, "Oh, that's for other people. That bullshit ain't for me. Shit doesn't work out for me." And that was kind of like my story. Like I was always walking around with body armor, preparing myself, waiting for the rejection, preparing myself for the crap that was going to come down. Because, some of us live a life where there maybe was a lot of love in your life. Some of us live where maybe there was more fear than love. But we all get about a combo of both. And what I've noticed through my life is rejection and how you handle it has a lot to do with how clear you are about what it is that you're going for. So reason I'm talking about rejection is recently I put in my first book proposal for the Bad Girl Wisdom interviews. Oh, fuck. I forgot to set the timer. Okay. I think I've been chatting, so I'm going to put it for about 10. And what happened is I had, my big goal, my idea was, okay, I've contributed this chapter called Some Bad Girl Wisdom on how to transform heartbreak into heart power with a heart chakra makeover, when I was invited to be part of a book anthology for women's health. And I wanted to take that and send it to publishers because I have a project called the Bad Girl Wisdom Interviews. And I will tell you more throughout the vlog of why I think we need Bad Girl Wisdom, what the project's about, but I want to stay on topic today. So I put out my first book proposal to my, wish list publisher, just went for it. And I got rejected. But the good thing was he said, okay, there's some good stuff there. What I was able to help me see was that I wasn't clear. I threw in everything but the kitchen sink that had something to do with what it was that I wanted to go with this book. And this publisher was wonderful. They worked with me. They let me do a video submission. They worked with my parameters of how I express myself. Typing sometimes is kind of crazy. All right, so rejection. And if you're just joining us, just to let you know, once again, the topic today is rebounding after rejection. All right, so if you're rejected and you're all but hurt and you're like, oh my God, my life is never going to be the same again. Once again, it's usually because we're not really clear. So with my example of my book, I was lacking clarity on exactly what I wanted to say with the book. Now, I'm more of like, I was in the category of kind of knew where I wanted to take this, but the bigger picture, since I've never done this before, was that I was just throwing it out there. So this is where like all the experts on success stuff say that you come back and you start you get your tools out and you start trimming away the fat. You start looking at what is it that you want to do with your whole heart? What is it that it's just it's keeping you up at night? It's driving you. It's that passion that you just, no matter what, your brain won't shut up and it's always creating and wrapping ideas around it. And that's your baby, and you put it out there and then you're like, oh man, that really hurt. They didn't want it. Or you put your heart out when you really love someone and you say, hey, I want to go deeper. And they're like, no, I don't want to go deeper with you. And you put your baby out there all the way. And it's like, it's hard because this is your stuff. Now, what I've noticed is when I'm really clear about what it is that I want, when I'm super clear, I'm very clear about my message about bad girl wisdom. Why? Because I think it's bullshit that we have good girl and bad girl still in this day and age. Good girl was a survival. You had to walk the status quo to be the good wife, the good mother. Being fuckable was a survival quality for a lot of women. Bad girl is about just living outside the box. So how do you rebound? How do you rebound after all this rejection? Okay, so I've described okay, this is my baby. I've been in a place where I've actually been at a business seminar and some woman, a business leader who's very well known, looked at me and said, oh, well, bad girl is your past. Why don't you focus on the future? And I was, with no idea of who I am, what my experience is, why I chose this, what the project is, what I'm bringing to the table. She just heard the name and rejected it. That's because this person was projecting onto me their issues with the name Bad Girl Wisdom. But I was so clear on what it is that I want that I was able to graciously say thank you and decide that I'm not going to work with this person because this person doesn't get where I'm going. And this is where we start figuring out, who do we want to align ourselves with? We want to align ourselves with people who are excited about our project, excited about being with us, excited about working with us, excited about having our day with each other. So once again, it's if you're unclear about what you want, I've been in that relationship where I didn't know what I want in a relationship. I was unclear what I wanted. So if I really liked someone and they rejected me, I was hurt, very hurt, because I didn't understand. I didn't know what I wanted, and I was just kind of throwing everything out there to see what would land. When I kind of know what I want, it's the I was able to learn from the rejection. So how do you rebound? This is the key point. The rebound point is creating that space for yourself when you're rejected to take your life down a little. Give yourself time, to go and be alone. Create your Zen den, is what I call it, or whatever that is for you. Whether it's, for me, there was a time when I would go hiking after a big heartbreak was when I got into rock climbing and cave, exploration and rappelling, because I had so much anger and so much hurt. I had to be outside and just physically moving my emotion out. Artistically, getting a rejection, this is when I want to go in deep, when I've been rejected from an audition for a part or an art, or shared my art and somebody was extremely critical. This is when I go back to the space and I let go of trying to have an idea of what I want to create, and I just write what I'm feeling. I just let my heart out. I just let it all out. Let all the butthurt feelings out around the situation. And then you can start climbing through that. You can start like combing through it. What women do best is gather and sort. And as you start pulling out the information, what it is that you do want, it's like then you can start creating that realistic goal that's going to get you to the next step. And I am going to talk about how to create a goal that uses your whole sensory information. I'm going to share all this with you. So once again, what did we talk about? Rejection, rebounding, in this short period of time. Yeah, I'd love to take this deeper, and we will throughout this journey. So my plan with this book proposal was I realized I wasn't ready to write this book yet. I am a kinesthetic learner. I am someone who likes to use my body when I learn. That's why I've done body work. This is, weighted tables for a living instead of working in an office at one time in my life when I was acting. I love being outdoors. I love physically moving when I talk. This is why I stand up and do my scopes. So it became clear to me in this process of going in my Zen den, and I put up on my art blog on Instagram the picture that I painted, and it just kind of came through and hit me really clear. It's time for me to just focus on the art and let go of teaching, let go of coaching clients, let go of anything else besides what is 100% what my heart wants to pursue. And when I ask myself that question, honestly, to myself alone in my Zen den and journal, what came out is I want to tell this story of Bad Girl Wisdom. I want to write this story, and I want to go out and perform it and tell it and share it and make pretty pictures. So what is your thing? Where do you get clarity? Is it walking in a park? Is it writing? Is it painting? Is it cooking? Is it cleaning out your closet? Sometimes housework can be extremely cleansing after a rejection. And you start just sorting out what is no longer working in your life. You begin to make space for the new. And as soon as I made space for this new project that I was ready to commit, where I, trimmed the fat away, said, okay, like my coach, Samantha Bennett, the creativity coach, she says that revisions are mandatory to every goal. And you have to trim away, what isn't working in the moment. Doesn't mean you can't do it at a later date. It doesn't mean that you're rejecting this baby. It just means that this baby is growing as far as it can. And so for myself, I have this chakra yoga therapy program that I've used to help myself heal from post-traumatic stress disorder. And, I really want to help women who are holding wounded stories. I got that formula out in a book about women's health. I've put together the workshop that goes through the chakra system that I've put together and taught. And I feel good. I feel good that this is a good resting place for that project. And this project now can let itself grow and do its own thing with what's out there. And if that's meant to grow up into certifications and bigger live workshops, that'll be awesome. And I trust that the time when that's right to do that will show itself to me. What came for me, my timer went up. So what came for me was in this is that, okay, this is the right time for me to take it down low. I had a health thing. I need to chill out a little more. So the timer's up. If anybody has questions about rejection or what I've shared, this would be a great time to share it or ask me. Otherwise, if you want to know more about what I do, and who I am, or see my artwork, you can go to my website, badgirlmystic.com, and you can follow me on Twitter at badgirlmystic. All right, no one's asking questions, so I'm out. Mwah! Peace. Have a beautiful day.